Terrorism finance has been termed as the lifeblood of terrorism and one of the most important factors sustaining its continuing threat. Society for Policy Studies organized a special lecture on countering terrorism finance and assessment of current efforts and possible steps for the future at India International Center in New Delhi yesterday. An interactive session was held with various defense experts and security analysts who discussed wide-ranging topics involving the terrorism finance. Experts unanimously voiced their concerns on duality of functions by the central investigative agencies in probing terror financing.
I think it would simplify matters a little if we had a unity of functions instead of a duality of functions, because what happens is there is a certain department, certain agency tasked with terrorist financing in terms of being the lead agency. There's another agency and department tasked with money laundering. There's a third department, well, one department like the MOF, and a separate agency called the DRI, the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, tasked with investigating trade-based money laundering. So if there were a common law, there are two distinct bits of legislation. One is the PMLA, the other is the UAPA. And that's why we look at terrorist financing and money laundering relatively in silos or in isolation, given the fact that terrorist financing and money laundering are intertwined.
One big lacuna in India is the need to harmonize legislation. One is this constant refrain that law and order is a state subject. When does a transgression of law and order become a terrorist act or moves into the domain of terrorism for investigative purposes? And the second is specific to financing. There are many agencies of the government that are looking at this. So I think the need to harmonize and create capacity for monitoring at a time when information technology and cyber offer many possibilities, and that's a strength for India.
In India, the strengthening of domestic legislations and regulations followed in the wake of initiatives taken by the United States after 9/11, and these efforts received an impetus after 26/11, as also pursuant to the decision to take membership of the Financial Action Task Force.
As far as terrorism is concerned, India needs to do a lot about fighting terror financing. This is an issue which is very important, and in fact, in certain cases, the finances in fact drive terrorism. And as regards the government agencies are concerned, there is a need for the terror financing agencies which are controlling terror finance rather, as well as the investigating agency to be fully integrated.
Experts deliberated on several other issues concerning terrorism finance with the Society for Policy Studies Director and invited suggestions for better policies. Correspondent Paras Bish from Delhi for ANI.